witnessed a public freakout in Tokyo. I witnessed a guy absolutely lose it, and I thought I was going to have to go into white savior mode and lay this guy out. This actually was a couple months ago, and at the time, I was thinking about taking a video of the situation, or at the very least, taking a video of me talking about what happened, the reaction, but at the like I had such a victim mindset at that time. It's crazy to think about how weak I was only a few months ago. I was so worried about what people were gonna say about me, and now I've kind of accepted it. If I've accepted that people will say hateful things about you, no matter how truthful you are, no matter how factual you are. So just like you know what I do, I share stories of my life. I share crazy stories, interesting stories. I didn't share this story at the time, but we're here now. I've accepted people are gonna hate me regardless. So, anyways, this guy gets arrested. I'm all right. Let's back up. I'm walking to the mall, guys. I'm walking to the mall to buy my new Berserk manga, the new Berserk manga from the Berserk that I'm reading in Japanese. The manga I'm reading in Japanese. Holy shit! And if you guys know what malls are like in Japan, it's not like a big giant one building with multiple floors where you get your Lush, Sephora, Zara, all that shit. No, it's like a Shoten guy. They'll call it a mall or something. Like Shoten guy is like a shopping street. It's kind of like half indoor, half outdoor. It's basically a shopping street that has like a roof on it, and then there are little shops on both sides of the street as you go down, like little convenience stores and then souvenir shops and little shit like that. So I'm on my way to my favorite manga store. Closes at 8 p.m., something like that. I'm probably there like 7 p.m. right before they close. Starting to chill out toward the end of the night. But I start hearing some ruckus exploding behind me, despite me having my noise-canceling headphones in. Check it out. Yes, the Bose noise-canceling headphones. Shout out to my bro for getting these for me. I'm just having good vibes. I'm on my way to buy my new manga. I just finished the other manga. I'm on my way to buy the new book. Got my headphones in, got my music playing. Roll with the punches, cause you know that it's inevitable to be. You got my 4 Year Strong in. You guys know, back me up. Listen to my 4 Year Strong, having a good time. Life is good. And suddenly I start hearing all the types of ruckus. And at first, I think that it's like salarymen drunk behind me or something like that. Cause sometimes salarymen are just drinking and they're super, super loud. Or maybe it's like girls or something screaming about, I don't know, like a voice behind me shouting. So I turn my music down and I look around, and behind me there's this guy. The shopping street is pretty full of people walking both ways, but there's this guy in the middle, and it's like a force field around him. The people are walking like this on both sides, like I guess they're coming this way and they're coming that way around this guy. And there's this guy in the middle, and he's like swinging his arms around like this, and he's shouting. He's like, ah, ah! And you know what it looked like? It looked like Ghost Rider. You guys remember there's that scene in Ghost Rider where Nicolas Cage initially is turning into Ghost Rider for the first time, and he's like, ah, ah, ah. That's what it looked like. This guy's in the middle of the shopping street, and there are people walking around him on both sides in classic Japanese fashion. Like, nobody is trying to stop him. Nobody's communicating with him. Nobody's even like taking a video or anything like that. They're just like putting their heads down and walking past, acting like they don't see it. And this guy, he looked, I couldn't tell if he was a tourist or he lived here. He definitely wasn't Japanese. He had he looked like a backpacker or something like that, maybe, because he had this really big backpack on, and he had like kind of like hiking boots and like cargo pants, and he had long hair and a ponytail, like such a dude, like fucking like a backpacker look. Like, dude, I fucking hate backpackers, but that's a story for a different time. But anyways, he had like a backpacker look, kind of. And he's screaming, so I take my headphones out, and I'm trying to listen in on what this guy's saying. So, I'm also get here in case I need to spear tackle this guy or something like that, because these Japanese people aren't going to do anything. Like, I might need to save the world. So, this guy starts fucking, he's screaming, and he's mixing in English and Japanese, and he just kept saying, like, motherfucker, fucking motherfucker, kuso yaro. What was he saying? Something about, baka ni suru na. Like don't make fun of me or something like that. And then he was saying like motherfucker, and he was freaking out. And for just like a quarter of a second, this guy made eye contact with me. And like I wasn't squared off like I was actually gonna tackle this dude, but I was standing there like watching him in case something went down and I needed to protect somebody. And he made eye contact with me, and then he immediately turns around and starts darting out into the other direction. And he's headed toward this cafe. There's a cafe there. What is it? It's not Starbucks. It's a Japanese chain cafe, not Veloce. Excelsior Cafe, maybe. And like the cafes in Japan, they usually have this little signboard out in front of their shop that says their, seasonal drink or whatever. Come try our matcha yuzu latte or something like that. And he runs and he picks up this little signboard. Not even little, it's like a big thing, and it's like made out of metal, I think. And he starts waving it above his head. And he's like, ah, motherfucker, and he's still screaming. And now everyone's like freaking out. People are like, ah, like there are some little girls like yelling and shit like that, and then running away. And he's like, ah, and he was like, motherfucker, and dude, he looked, you know what he looked like when he was doing that? And he's screaming around, and he's going, ah. It reminded me of Star Wars. What were they called? You guys know those sand people? The Tusken Raiders, or Tusken Raiders? Was that what they were called? Anyways, those guys, and they had like rifles, and they were like, rah, 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 and they're waving either guns above their head or something like that. And he's screaming, and he's like turning in circles, and he's still yelling, and he's like, motherfucker, this fucking country. He was yelling something about Japan, like, fucking country, fuck this country. Must have been upset or angry about Japan, or I don't know, his work life in Japan or something like that. And some girls laughed that were like behind him. They're like these teenage girls, and they started laughing. And I don't know if they were laughing at him or what, but these girls started laughing. And when these girls started laughing, he was like, Baka-ni-san-na! Which it's like, don't make fun of me! And he turns around and he runs at them with this sign above his head. And so then I started running after him because I thought he was going to smash this sign into one of these girls' domes, like cave her shit in. And he runs up to her like this, and then he smashes it on the ground in front of him. And as soon as he smashed it on the ground in front of him, it's like he came to his senses or something, or I don't know. It's like he was possessed, and they got the demon out of him as soon as he smashed that signboard. He's like, psh, and then he was like, and he just starts like looking around, and right when he did that, like 4 or 5 policemen were right there at that moment, and they grabbed me. They got their couple guys on each arm and stuff like that, and I saw they were pointing out of the ground and pointing at all the pieces of the signboard, saying that he was gonna have to pay for it and shit. I figured it was fine, so I walked off, went and I bought my manga, and I left. This guy, basically, this guy, he's not from here. He's really upset about something. Clearly, he doesn't look like he's mentally stable. Maybe he was on drugs or something like that. I don't know if he was able to get drugs in Japan, but definitely had some type of issue. Very upset, seemed to be upset about Japan because he was saying like this country, and obviously he went to the extent of damaging property and threatening people physically, and scaring a whole bunch of people. And I see that it feels like at least once a week I see some type of person, obviously not freaking out that much to where they're committing a real crime, but I'll see somebody who's like really upset about Japan and the culture here, and really upset about how strict it is and how tight the rules are, and maybe the work culture or something like that, and they freak out. And they freak, even if they're not committing a crime or something like that, they'll yell at somebody, or they'll be ranting online about how much they hate it here. And I always just think, man, like, dude, like way before that, way before you get to the point where you're picking up a yuzu matcha latte sign and almost smashing it into some teenage girl's face, you should just go home, right? Like, just go home, bro. It ain't worth it, bro. If you're that angry about the culture here, like, you don't have to be here. You literally do not have to be here, bro. I just think that's sad. I think that's really sad that a lot of people, they let it get to them that much. It's like, bro, you gotta take a chill pill. You gotta be a little bit more stoic, man. I can lend you my copy of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius if you'd like, but Yeah, and the thing is, the reason that I didn't post a video talking about the story, because, that's what I do. I just post videos talking about my life and crazy stories, crazy things that I've seen here and there. I didn't post at the time was because, like, I had already posted a couple different videos, relating to kind of like immigration topics or something like that, and then I got attacked by the guy in Kabukicho, like the African guy in Kabukicho, and then I get attacked. My girlfriend gets attacked. My fucking girlfriend, dude. My fucking girlfriend, my Japanese girlfriend. Like, I say Japanese because it's like the Japanese people are not really large, and they're not very intimidating, and they're not very familiar with people from the outside world. She gets fucking attacked, and I have to defend her from some black guy, some fucking not a Japanese person, out of nowhere, in fucking Tokyo. And I have to go protect her, and this dude's like in my face, like wanting to fight me. We didn't do anything. He said that we were racist because she looked at him. I was on my phone looking for directions to a cafe. And my girlfriend's like just minding her business. And this guy gets in her face and starts yelling at her. And I need to step in between him, and then he acts like he's gonna fight me. Not a Japanese guy, some like black guy from, I don't know where the fuck this guy was from. He wasn't African, like he was speaking like he was American. Like, what the fuck, dude? And so anyways, I post like the video of when I was talking about that, and then I get attacked in Kabukicho, in Japan of all places. And then, and then at the time I was, I just talking about my life. Crazy shit that happens in my life like I always do. And this is, these are real things that happen. And people are like, this guy's racist, this guy's trying to stir up racial division or whatever. It's like, dude, I'm just talking about my fucking life, dude. If you don't like the facts of the world that we live in, take it up with the people who are committing the crimes and who are intimidating people. Don't take it up with the people who are just sharing the evidence or sharing the real facts and the real stories of things that happen in life. And then this happens right after that. I would not have believed this shit if I would have. To be fair, I wouldn't believe this shit if I saw a guy on YouTube saying all this, like that all of this stuff is happening in Tokyo. I would not believe that. And I wish it was fake. I wish I was making it up, but I'm not. Anyways, at the same time though, I know that when I post this video, I know there are going to be a lot of people saying like, "Oh my God, Japan is done. Japan is cooked, bro. Japan has absolutely been taken over by third world immigrants, and Japan is never going to recover." And I kind of hate that. I kind of hate when people say that. I do think that it is changing very slowly. I do think that it is beginning to change, and even just a 0.01% change in Japan feels really big and feels really different because Japan has been so homogeneous for so long. But really, it's not. It's actually not that bad. I seriously do think that someone's just out to get me or something, or I have the worst luck in the world, because I don't know anybody else who has had even one of the situations that I've had. But I've had 3 like happen right to me. Basically like immigrants in Japan victimizing me or someone right around me, basically. But at the same time, like I said, I really don't think it's that bad. I think those were just a couple isolated incidents. I do think that it is getting worse, and it will get worse very, very slowly. And even if that just means 0.001% of Japan is changing, I do notice that it is changing just a little bit. But I just want to make the point to say that I hate the people like online. There are all these LARPers on like Twitter and shit like that who you'll see them. They'll have like an anime profile picture and a katakana name, and you look at their location and it's like America. But there'll be like some American guy cosplaying as a Japanese person. This lemon squash stuff makes you burp so much. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna drink some more. They're like cosplaying a Japanese person, and they're like, "We have to save Japan. Japan is a fallen country. It's being taken over just like the rest of Europe. Immigrants are invading Japan, and it's never like I was gonna go to Japan with my family trip with my family for my trip this summer, and we decided not to because we saw the videos online. And I think that's like part of why I didn't post the video originally, is because like I don't want to contribute to that. Like I see all these people saying that, it's like, dude, it's really not that. The tourists are bad. There are a lot of tourists. A lot. You definitely notice the tourists. But in terms of the immigrants living here, I mean, I'm sure if you lived here forever, you notice a small change. But I really don't think it's that bad. And I just hate how I hate so much how things are black and white. It's like you bring up how, yes, there are more immigrants coming here. Can it be good? Probably for the economy. Is it probably good for the economy? Yes, definitely good benefits of the immigrants coming to Japan, without a doubt. But it's not all benefits. You also have to think about, if these people are going to be allowed to vote in the future, how are they going to change the political leanings of Japan? How are they going to change the culture of Japan? How are they going to affect race relations and division and conflict in Japan? So you have to think about that, and then in the same way, oh well, this real thing happened to me, and I am noticing like probably a small change in Tokyo, and there are immigrants here, expats here who don't want to respect the Japanese culture at all, and who don't want to be Japanese at all, and they want to change Japan, and they want to import all of their beliefs and use their biases to change Japan. Like I don't understand that either. And then I'll say something like that, and then people will be like, "Are you kidding me? Japan is like a dying population, bro, and within the next 5 years, their population's gonna be zero. They need as much immigration as they can get, and all the immigrants they're just doing their best, bro. They just want to come to Japan and help and join the workforce and help the economy. That's all they care about." It's like, yeah, that's not true at all either. And it's frustrating because people want you to be one or the other, right? You say one thing, if I would just say, yeah, I mean, there are probably some benefits to immigrants coming to Japan right now. Japan's labor force could use it. Population's declining. I'm sure it would help Japan's economy a fair bit to have some type of immigration. If I said that, if I even acknowledge that, then everybody on the right gets so angry at me. Like, oh, you fucking kidding me? What are you talking about? They need zero immigrants there. Now, to be fair, I don't actually know. I'm just saying I can acknowledge on both sides there are good arguments. I'm a free thinker, right? And then if I say the opposite, if I say it on the other side, I say, yeah, I mean, really from most of what I've seen, a lot of the immigrants coming to Japan, or most of the immigrants coming to Japan, they don't want to integrate into the culture. They want to change Japan. They want to make Japan like their home from which they fled. And I don't think that's good. That's why I think we need to slow down the immigration to Japan. If I say that, people are like, "You're Hitler. What the fuck? I thought you were on our side because you said this before." It's like, dude, I'm not on a side. I'm just a free thinker. And yes, just because the majority of my thoughts and the majority of my beliefs align with one side more than the other, that doesn't mean that I'm on that side or I agree with everything that side says. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, dude, it's like, this is why you literally cannot worry about what anybody else fucking says about what you say, because there are always going to be idiots. Now, okay, I should take that back. I take it back. This is why you cannot worry what random people and stupid people say about what you say. You should worry about what people that you respect say. You should worry about people that you look up to, what they say about what you say. People that you would change positions with, okay, sure, yeah, care what they say. But like, dude, just like the random person online, or like random commenter, random troll talking shit or saying you're this or you're that because you put your opinion out into the world, or you gave a real factual example of your life, something that happened in your life, and you just talked about it. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're fabricating stories to get impressions online and stir up rates. Like, what? What the fuck are you smoking, bro? And no matter how much evidence you give them, no matter how many facts you give them, you can sit there and beat them over the head with a stack of papers showing research and evidence that supports your claim. They do not give a single fuck. They literally don't give a single fuck for one of two reasons. It could be reason one, which they're literally just too stupid to comprehend it. They don't understand the importance of facts. They don't understand the importance of research, and you will give them 100 studies that back up your claim, and in response to that, they will say, oh, well, I know, I have a friend who's not like that. and they actually think they're doing something there. So that's reason one. They're just too stupid to understand the importance of research and studies and numbers and statistics. They think anecdotes are good are good anecdotes are good arguing points. Or you have the other person who's they're very emotionally reactive, or they're traumatized or something like that. They live with some type of trauma, and then they have this pit against certain people who fall into a stereotype or a group of people who are somewhat like someone that traumatized them when they were young or pissed them off when they were young, and so now they have it in their blood to forever until they die deny the facts, whatever, in whatever way they can, to make themselves feel better and put the other side down, because the other side represents the group that traumatized them or pissed them off when they were children and when they were developing, and now that's in their framework. And they will backwards rationalize forever and ever and ever to make themselves feel better, no matter how many facts you give them. So, kind of a long rant, guys, but just be yourself. Dude, tell the truth. Give the world the facts. The world needs to see the facts, guys. The world needs to see the facts. Stop hiding the facts. Don't bend the truth. Show the facts. My name's Young James, guys. Hit me up. Check out the description. All my links are in the description. If you want to get on a call with me, consulting, living in Japan, literally anything, hit me up, guys. Book it up in the description. All right, peace out.